this member menu.
I
Just as if, perfect. Okay, so you know how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the My Community tab, and this is going to take us into your member's profile. The member profile, let's let this load. We can start off by seeing that this individual has been in the system for 4 weeks. The last time they were online is less than a minute ago because I'm assuming their profile, and they've had 4 profile views so far. They have not uploaded their profile picture, but if they wanted to, they could use the change profile picture option right below where their profile picture is located.
Hey, Adrian, can we use a test account instead of real one? So in case we, in case your demo includes like having, updating something, then we don't mess with other users.
So if I update anything, we don't want any notifications or anything going out, and so I can do it in my MemberClicks test site if you want me to do that.
Oh, no, actually we should use our site because it's more relevant, except using a test or your admin account. You have admin account within.
But I don't have it. We're not going to be updating anything in your system today.
Okay, all right.
If we do, if you want to see how something works, I can build it in the MemberClicks test site.
Okay, sounds good.
So your members have the ability to share their status, just like if you were in Facebook or similar to where people can write on their wall. So you can add comments. Down at the bottom, we have the ability to update our profile. Now this is pulling from that profile owner attribute security. So they have the ability to review and potentially edit their information. Also below their profile picture where they can post a status, they have a couple of privacy settings. These privacy settings by default are set so that everybody in the social community can see these 2 items in your members' profiles. Now, that default can be changed, so I'll show you where you can do that on the back end. There is going to be some new verbiage that we're going to cover today, and the first word is connections. So a connection is equivalent to having a friend in Facebook. So you'd have a connection in MemberClicks just as you would have a friend in Facebook. Right now, the default is everybody in the social community can see anybody's connections or could see anybody's photos. If they wanted to limit this permission, they could make it so that all connections can only see each other's other connections, or only connections can see their photos, or only they can view their connections and only they can view their photos. I'm going to go back to the My Profile tab.
So this applies to connections and photos.
That's exactly right.
So if you hadn't said that, by just looking at that, it would not tell me that it only applies to photos and connections.
It says connections and photos. Configure who is able to view your information, connections, photos.
Okay, all right.
Now we can go back to the My Profile tab and continue to review. I'm going to skip over here to the right. We can write messages and view your inbox. So you do have, your members will have the ability to write each other direct messages. So if I went ahead and selected that I wanted to write a message, we could choose from our connections list. When we browse the directory, we can also send direct messages from browsing the directory, which we'll look at in just a moment. The great thing about this is your members are limited to 30 messages a day. The reason we've done this is to prevent anybody from promoting their own personal business.
30 messages. 30 instances, right?
Correct.
Okay. But there's no character limit there.
Say that again?
There's no character limit?
No, there's no character limit, exactly.
So they can have as much content within each instant as possible. And 30 of those, I think it will sell them their business, help them sell their business.
Well, there's no way to mass send an email. There's no way to send an email to every single person. You'd have to click on every single person's profile and write the message. And you are stopped at 30 times. So once you sent 30 messages, you can't send any more that day.
Okay.
Let me go ahead.
30 message. So, and you can send to multiple connections. I mean, to multiple people, right? You can select.
No, you can only send one message to one person at a time.
At a time. Even from connections, you still have to just send one at a time.
Yes.
Okay, so your connections don't know each other then. How can they see each other, the connections?
That is what the privacy settings determine.
Yeah. So each member of the connections may have different view depending on how their security, each of their securities are set. Their view of the connections would be different based on their settings.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's how you would, so you can just send one message to a singular person 30 times a day. That's the limit on that. We're going to view our inbox again, but this is how you can, just from this initial profile view, send a direct message. Your members can upload photos, and then lastly, they can start a new circle. So starting a new circle, that's that kind of group area centered around a specific topic. Those circles can be open or closed, meaning anybody could join, or they'd have to be given permission to join. And they can create discussions around that specific topic. So anybody, if you want, can come in here and create a new circle. You also have the ability to moderate circle creation, meaning anybody could create the circle, but you would have to approve it and publish it before it's live. You can also make it so that you and Almaz are the only ones who can make circles, or you can take circles away altogether. Whoever creates the circle is the administrator of the circle. And when you're ready to create a circle, right now you guys are limited to 300 circle creations. I don't think that that is going to be a problem at all, but you can expand or limit this number. When you get ready to...
Only admins are allowed to create circles?
Anybody can create a circle, but you can limit that permission so that only admin, if you wanted to. And whoever creates the circle is the admin of the circle. So that doesn't mean that they are an admin. Somebody could just be a regular member, but if they created a circle, they are by default the administrator of the circle.
I see. In addition to us.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and they can limit how many circles they, we limit how many circles a user can create, which is 300.
Exactly, but that can be a smaller number or a larger number.
Right. Okay, another question is, can circles can only be created from connections or even from outside connections?
It could be either or. You can invite your connections to join a circle, but you can also, like, I can browse the circles. So I'll be able to browse all circles. If it's an open circle, I can just join it and I'm in it, even if I don't know anybody else in that circle. If it's a closed circle, I'm only allowed to see the circle name and circle description. I'd have to send a join request, and my join request would have to be approved before I could be all the way in the circle.
So what is the difference between a circle and a connection then? A circle is within, so I'm trying to kind of like map it out. So they're two different entities, right? But they both serve the same purpose, so to speak.
No, a connection is like, are you on Facebook, Gurmai?
Just to reserve my name, yeah, but I've never used it except for the first few months when I signed up. So
yeah, so you can have like friends in Facebook. So like if I wanted to be your friend, so basically if we were in MemberClicks together, if we were in the social community together, I could see your profile and be like, oh yeah, I remember meeting Gurmai at a networking event. I'm going to send him a connection request. And you can go, oh yeah, I remember. When you log in, you're going to see a big red number 1 over here, a big red number telling you how many outstanding items you have in your profile. And one of them is going to be, oh, I have a connection request from Adrian. And you're going to say, oh, yeah, I remember seeing her. Boom. Yeah, I accept. And now we're connected. We are connections. Or you could say, I do not remember that crazy girl. I do not want to be her connection. And you can decline me. So that's the connections piece. The circles piece, somebody may come in here and go, we have maybe you guys, you might go, you know, we've got an upcoming conference. And people might want to have some discussions about the conference. I'm going to create a circle called Conference 2018. Then inside the circle, you may create some discussions such as hotel accommodations, carpooling, dinner plans, event feedback. And everybody who wants to be in that circle can join and can talk to everybody else in that circle and say, oh, I really want to come to the event. I really want to. Who's going to dinner Friday night? And then you could come in here and say, oh, I'm going to dinner Friday night. Where are we going? Like, let's all go. Let's get the group together. Or it could be questions for speakers, open questions for speakers. And anybody could go in there and write, oh, I'd love to know this. I'd love to know this. I'd love to ask this. So anybody can talk in the circle. You don't have to be connections. You don't have to know one another. It's really just more about having discussions centered around a specific topic. In our example, Convention 2018.
So the circle is geared more towards like business discussions, right? So some more serious discussion compared to the connection is only, hey, I see a name that I recognize. I think I know that person. Let me have them and my connections in case, you know, I like to kind of like reach out to them at some point, right? That's what it's the purpose it serves. It doesn't have specific purpose to have a connection. However, circle, it has specific purpose to discuss a certain topic, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So as the person who wants to create the circle, they'll go through and add the circle name, a circle description. Whoops. These circles can be categorized in different categories. Right now, there's just a main category. The person creating the circle will determine whether it's an open or private circle.
So main category means what?
You can categorize these, so it can be like events, networking, membership questions.
All right. Got it. Yeah.
Just for additional organization. The circle can be open or private. And as we go through creating our circle and hover over each of these items, it kind of gives us a description on what we're looking at. So we can have discussions, photos, how many photo albums the circle can have. Do you want the people in the circle to get a notification every time a new member is added, every time there's a join request, every time there's a wall post notification, so every time there's a wall post made? Okay, any questions on that process?
Yeah, so when I'm a user, I create a circle and I pull in people, I invite them. Did you also mention that other people can see the name of the circle, of a circle out there within the community? Hey, I'd like to be part of that circle, and they can request, right, to join in that circle? Yeah,
so when you are in the circle, I'm going to just assume somebody's profile right now. I'm going to go into the My Profile tab. And the first thing that we can do, if you are interested in joining a circle, under the My Features, there's also this Circles component. So we can click on the Circles component in here.
Okay.
This is going to show you all circles in the social community. So it wouldn't just be...
Okay, it wouldn't just be the ones that you created. It would be everything.
Right. It'd be all of them, exactly. And so you can click on, you can view for any circle, the circle name and the circle description, how many people are in the circle.
Clicking all those titles, it takes you where?
If you click on a title of a circle, it's going to take you into the circle itself. Whoops, hold on.
Okay, so this must be open then. If it was not open, it would not let you, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So if it is open circle, then all you have to do is just click on that link and boom, you're in there. You're part of that circle. You can start discussing.
Well, no, you actually have to click. You know what? I think we might be wrong. I think this one's closed because typically, let's go back. If it's an open circle, there's going to be a join circle option. Oh, yes. So yes, sorry, I got confused. This is an example of a closed circle. So this means that you have to request to join it. This is all that you would see.
Okay, the ones that you clicked earlier though, that open.
Is an open circle, exactly.
So if it is open, you don't have to do anything else. Once you click on it, you're in there. You can start talking to the circle.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right. We can go back to all circles and view another example. So small staff interest group. Mm-hmm. We're just already in the circle. We can make comments, we can write, we can make wall posts, just like these people down here did.
So the only way you can tell whether it's open or closed is how, when you see a lot of stuff there, then it's open. I wish there was a way to kind of tell you, something. Would you like to join the circle? Click here.
There's just a join. It's just a join button, right, that we saw a moment ago.
Yeah, but if it is open, is there anywhere it tells you, okay, maybe not, right?
Yeah, I'm just going through some of these other ones.
This is open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what tells you that it's open? That's what I'm trying to find out.
It would just be whether you can see everything in the circle or like the planning committee that we saw earlier. We can't see anything, but we could see this one, sorry.
I wish there was from the list where, it's like it tells you it's open, closed. Kind of like, like Wi-Fi networks. It says secure or not secure.
Private.
Okay, so you would find this out after you click it, right? After you click to enter it, it doesn't show you on the list. If you go back to all the list, is that bracket private next to the title?
No, you'd have to click into the circle in order to see.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. If you could see it from here, you can just scan through whatever is open or closed and see which one you want to. All the closed ones, you can see which one you want to join, right? Instead of having to click each one of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, you definitely have to click each one in order to determine if it was open or closed. So here are all the categories. So as you create categories, you can view all the categories, and it'll show you how many circles there are for each category.
Yeah. So you know what I mean, Adrian. So these are the kind of things that we would like to, include in that video, right? So. Click on all circles. Is that what this is called? This list, all circle list, and they can be either private or public. You would have to click in each one to see whether it's public or something. We would like to include that in the video, just in the context, just so that it's out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I would maybe write a note down, that's something that you would want included in the video, because I know Mary Sue asks for those specifics.
Yeah, but it's hard to kind of like come up with specifics on email. Some things are better described verbally than on emails, because they're going to generate questions and back and forth on emails. It's just not.
Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. All right. Well, we only have 4 minutes left, so let me see if we can look at anything else. We can view all of my circles. These are the circles that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Pending invitations, and then you can search circles. You can also look for circles.
So that search is for circles only?
Correct. So I could say, and there's the planning committee.
So you would have to know a word in the title to be able to search for circles.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know what a circle is called, there's no way for you to find a circle.
You can browse all circles.
Yeah.
And then you can view per category. So if you were like, oh, I want something for professional development, it's only going to show you those circles in that category.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there are so many links that are not highlighted, but they are important. Just like the one you just mentioned, you know, what was it that you just clicked? The category?
Yeah, the category.
Yeah. So I would not have seen that, you know, because it's not prominent, you know, it's a tiny link at the corner. So, but that's a useful link, you know, it narrows down your search.
Exactly.
So those are the things that we want to highlight, because it's the kind of things that a business person, a novice business person, novice meaning in the social networking community aspect of it, can easily follow or do the basic and the important stuff for business interaction. You know, those kind of areas we want to highlight, as opposed to other stuff. You know, that this feature allows you to do.
Definitely. All right. Well, I know that we've got some time scheduled for
Tuesday.
Next week, sometime Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we will finish up the social community training. I would make sure that you, what time is that? I know you're on here.
Yeah, so noon my time, I think. That would be
3 o'clock my time on Tuesday. Yeah. Perfect. So,
do you have another meeting right after that?
Nope, you're fine. I was just, no, you're totally fine.
Right after 3 o'clock, do you have a 4 o'clock meeting?
Oh, yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
I do. But that we'll really need to make sure that we wrap everything up on that call. So if there are any additional questions, we should be able to spend, you know, the first 30 minutes of that training wrapping up the social community. And then we'll have 30 minutes for questions, and that will be our last call. Okay?
And how about the video? How are we gonna?
I've not heard from my director, but I would circle back to Mary Sue and just tell her exactly what you told me, as I mentioned. And I have not heard anything back yet, but if I do, I will most definitely let you know what the solution is.
So, is there any way I can talk to Mary Sue?
I don't. I would want her to control that. Like that's something that if she told, I mean, it's totally up to her. I can't control what she's doing and what she won't do.
Yeah, yeah, but we want this video. This is our biggest selling point. So how can, I'm not saying that she has to be available, but you know, how can we circumvent this? How can we go around this? What's a, you know, a workaround to this? And we, you know, given that this is very important.
Yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm waiting for my director to see if she has any solutions. And like I would just follow back up with Mary Sue in another email and let her know how, you know, important this is and how you really would like to have this done. But that is my only, if Mary Sue doesn't have, if she doesn't have the bandwidth, and that's, I just don't know what the other solution would be at that point.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but Almaz actually wasn't was actually a little more concerned about this when I talked to her last night, because she also gets copied it got copied on Mary Sue's email. January, she was saying she was actually a little more surprised about that.
Yeah, definitely send Mary Sue a follow-up email. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to do that and just press upon the importance of this being done this month. But like I said, I can't control Mary Sue's schedule. You know, I can't control her bandwidth. She's totally separate in a different, she's got her own thing going on. And I can't email her and say, you have to make this happen, because I'm not in the role to do that. I'm not her superior, you know? So I am not in the position that I can do that. But all I can do is reach out to Mary Sue, let her know the importance that this has, and which I've done, and reach out to my director to see if there's other solutions, which I've done. And then you guys just follow up with Mary Sue as well.
Yeah. Okay. So you do the same with your director, and I'll follow up with Mary Sue. But let's keep in mind that this is very important, and we want this as fast as possible, like as early next week if possible. I don't know how long it takes to create those videos, but actually Almaz was expecting to see it this week, but I haven't been keeping up with her as far as this is concerned, with how I wasn't able to reach out to Mary Lou this week. And in fact, she was going to join just to help maybe speed up the process.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I've said, I've reached out to Mary Sue and Stacy, and so Stacy, my director, and so I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from them. Otherwise, I will talk to you next week, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.